Hello everyone, and welcome back to Whispers of Turkish Stars. If you love heartfelt twists and unexpected turns in the world of celebrity romance, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, and show this video some love, because what we're about to unpack is setting the entire entertainment scene abuzz. In the last few days, Barış Baktaş has quietly opened a door he usually keeps sealed, his private life. And what spilled out was raw and unguarded. Words that felt like they were pulled straight from the center of his chest. According to those close to him, he's standing at a delicate crossroads, one hand still tethered to the duties that come with being a devoted father, and the other reaching toward the bright, hopeful horizon he sees with Yağmur Yüksel. The tension isn't about indecision of the heart, insiders insist. It's about responsibility and timing. He shares children with a former partner, and co-parenting keeps them in contact. But emotionally, everyone says his heart has already made its choice. Friends who've seen Barış off camera describe him as restless lately, pacing rooms while thinking out loud about the future. He has been heard telling confidants that the only connection he wants to keep with the past is the one that makes him a good dad, that everything else belongs to yesterday. In private, he's reportedly been saying that the love he feels for Yağmur is the kind people spend a lifetime trying to find. He's not hiding it from those he trusts. He wants a new chapter, one built deliberately, carefully, and without the ghosts that used to haunt him. What's made fans gasp is the insistence, soft yet unwavering, that he intends to marry. The phrasing, they say, was classic Barış, not theatrical, not shouted from rooftops, but spoken like a solemn promise. He's ready, and he wants to do it right. Those words traveled fast, sparking headlines and whispers in the same breath. On social media, timelines lit up with speculation. Was the proposal already made? Had Yağmur accepted behind closed doors? Or was the question still floating between them like a fragile wish? People close to Yağmur describe her as warm but measured, a woman who protects her peace with quiet strength. Her public image has always leaned toward grace, grounded, thoughtful, never using her heart for spectacle. That image mirrors what her friends say in private. She is open to love but allergic to chaos. She wants to be sure that love doesn't have to wear armor to survive. Trust, for her, is more than a lovely word. It's the cornerstone. She wants proof that the past won't keep knocking, that affection won't be overshadowed by old echoes and lingering conversations meant only for co-parents. Meanwhile, the wider conversation is split down the middle. One side cheers for love, arguing that when two people truly find each other, everything else becomes noise. The other side urges caution, warning that even the strongest promises can be shaken by unresolved history. Some worry that continuing dialogue with his ex, necessary as it is for the children, might be misread by the public or worse, might plant seeds of doubt where trust should take root. And yet, there is a quiet chorus you can't ignore. Those who have watched Barış and Yağmur for years, who swear that this isn't a sudden spark but an ember that kept glowing even when life drew them apart. According to sources who have known them both through professional highs and personal detours, Yağmur has always occupied a meaningful room in his life. Even when distance grew, paths diverged, or schedules stole their time, he found reasons to circle back. Perhaps it was chance. Perhaps it was choice. Or perhaps it was simply what the heart does when it knows where home is. Of course, no real-life love story unfolds in clean lines. Co-parenting has its rhythms, and any rhythm that includes the past can rattle a present relationship, no matter how tender or resilient. There were moments, insiders whisper, when Yağmur felt the weight of it all. Times when she stepped back, not to punish him, but to protect herself. She needed to see consistency, not just promises. She needed to see gestures that lived beyond the surface, a steady pattern, not a grand speech. That's exactly what those close to Barış say he's working on. Not simply telling her how he feels, but showing her. He's rearranged his days, placed boundaries where there were none, shifted conversations into the clear. And if you believe the chatter, he's been planning something unforgettable, a proposal not designed for headlines but for the memory they'll share every year after. Word is he's chosen a ring with intention, something that speaks both to her style and to their story, elegant, unpretentious, luminous. He's reportedly scouted a private location where the world can intrude, a space big enough for emotions but small enough for two. The most surprising detail? He's said to be practicing. Not press statements, not dramatic monologues. Actual dancing. Friends say he's been taking lessons on the sly, wanting to sweep her into a moment that feels cinematic without being showy, intimate without being staged. He doesn't want the choreography of a spectacle. He wants a language their bodies can share, a sway that says, I am here, I am present, I am not going anywhere. Meanwhile, Yağmur's caution is reportedly softening into something brighter. She's careful, yes, but she isn't cold. The more she witnesses his changes. The quiet ones, the daily ones, the more she lets possibility sit beside prudence. Her friends say you can see it in the way she speaks his name lately, calm yet tender, as if rolling a promise on her tongue. She knows this kind of love is rare, the kind that doesn't drown you but lifts you just enough to breathe easier. From the outside, the conversation keeps buzzing. Fans post throwback clips, reading meaning into glances shared on carpets and in interviews from months past. Comment sections erupt into late-night debates. Is love enough? Do children complicate or clarify? Can two people build a safe harbor while waves from yesterday still lap at the shore? Everyone seems to have an opinion, but only two people get to answer the only question that matters. Will she say yes, and will he make it easy for her to mean it forever? It's worth noting that support for this union goes beyond the fans. Rumors suggest that members of Barış's family have embraced the idea of him and Yağmur becoming a permanent team. They've seen him content, seen the lighter way he carries himself, and they want that joy to stay. The idea of a wedding isn't just a headline to them, it's a wish for stability, for laughter at the table, for a home where the noise of the industry fades by the doorway. Paparazzi and pundits will keep calling this a triangle. Perhaps that's inevitable. Perhaps it's simpler than that. A past that must be respected, a present asking to be trusted, and a future waiting to be chosen outright. If the proposal happens the way it's rumored to, quietly, beautifully, somewhere only the wind can overhear, then the next beat of this story will be electric. A yes would set off a countdown to a celebration many have already pictured. Ribbons of light, a ceremony poised between elegance and warmth, a promise sealed beneath a sky that has watched them find their way back to each other more than once. But today, the question hangs, tender, delicate, and loud in its own soft way. Will Yağmur open her heart completely? Will the echoes of Barış's yesterday finally stop knocking at the door of today? Can they build a life where the children are cherished, the past is admired from a distance, and the present has the room it deserves? As this chapter unfolds, one more confession has emerged from their circle of friends: this connection is not a trend. Barış didn't stumble into his feelings, he arrived at them, step by step, through seasons that changed and lessons that stung. He has learned that love that lasts is made of small, steady acts. Showing up. Keeping promises. Choosing, again and again, the same person even on complicated days. And Yağmur, for her part, has learned that strength isn't hardening, it's knowing when to unclench your fist and hold someone's hand. So here we stand at the edge of the moment. The ring is said to be ready. The words, probably rehearsed and then abandoned for honesty. The dance, imperfect but sincere. If she accepts, their story shifts into a brighter gear. If she needs more time, it doesn't mean the love is smaller. It simply means the foundation they're building deserves another layer of care. Online, hearts are split but hopeful. Some say true love has already won because it chose patience over panic. Others argue that the past must be thoroughly settled before any aisle is walked. Maybe both are right. Maybe the real feat is doing both at once, tending to responsibilities with respect while refusing to let yesterday write tomorrow's vows. No matter how you see it, there's a hush across the fandom tonight, that quiet you feel when you know something beautiful is about to be decided. The cameras will wait. The whispers will echo. And we'll be right here with you, watching for the next sign, listening for the answer, waiting to see if the future that Barış Baktaş imagines and the future that Yağmur Yüksel deserves turn out to be, at last, the very same thing.